Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I hope you're all well. I just want to quickly apologise beforehand for a bit of a croaky voice. I'm struggling from the winter cold. But today I have a super fun Christmassy video out. So obviously it's the weekend before Christmas, super exciting, and I thought I'd share with you these adorable tree ornaments that are Christmas trees. So Christmas tree ornaments. For today you're going to need two colour yarns. I have this beigey colour which I am using just to sew through my beads in my tree, and then I'm using this green cotton yarn to obviously make the main part of my tree. I have a 3.5mm hook. My yarn is both DK, so I'm sizing one down from a 4 to a 3.5. Just so that I can get a bit of a tighter look so it's less flimsy. I have a pair of scissors, you'll need a darning needle, and you will also need some of these little beads. These are just wooden beads. I will leave a link in the description box down below of where I got mine. I've used about 8 for this tree, so you'll only need a few, but they were off Amazon, they weren't too expensive, so I'll leave a link in the description box down below for those. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and we can start to make our Christmas tree. Okay then, so I'm starting with my main colour yarn, which is this green, and we're going to begin by making our slip knot. So to do this, we need to loop over our yarn, we need to grab through the centre, pull through the yarn and pull through. You can do that in whichever way that you prefer. And I'm going to insert and I'm going to pull my yarn tight. And there we have our slip knot. So to begin the Christmas tree, it's really basic. It's just double crochets, but we're going to begin with our foundation chain. So our foundation chain is 140 chain spaces. So to do this, we're just going to yarn over, pull through our work, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, all the way up to 140 chains. And this will make our basic foundation chain. So pause the video here, work that until you have 140 chains, and meet me back when you have finished that. Okay then, so this is how my chain is looking, so it's quite long. So then for row number 1 is just a row of double crochets. So I'm working in UK terminology today, so that's a double crochet in UK and a single crochet in US terminology. So we need to chain one more for our turning chain, and then into our second chain from the hook. So we don't count this first one on our hook, we don't count this first V, but we're counting our second V. We're working into that chain, we're going to yarn over and pull through. You're going to have 2 loops on your hook, and so you're going to yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Then into your next chain space, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Into the next space, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So you're going to continue working that all the way to the end of your row, and then we are ready to sew our Christmas tree up together. So pause the video here, work that for 140 stitches. Okay then, so I've just finished that row, and this is how yours should basically be looking, just like a ribbon of crocheted work. You're going to chain 1 and you're just going to cut off the end of your yarn. And then what I'm going to quickly do is just sew in these 2 ends. Okay then, so now we get to the fun part. You're going to take your second colour, so for me is this like beigey colour, and I'm just going to take a small length of it. And what we need to do is, if we look at this one, we need to have a knot in the top so that our piece is fixed there, and then at the bottom we'll knot it too. So we need to fold our piece in half, because obviously this loop will be what we hang onto the branches. So what I'm going to do with my piece of yarn is fold it in half, and then I'm going to tie a knot in this top bit. So where you have your loop, leave a good enough loop, because we all know how annoying it is when you have 2 smaller loops hang onto your branches. And we're just going to tie just a basic knot in that bottom bit, like so. and that should be enough to secure your work. And now we are going to take our green section and we're going to start folding. So I'm just going to show you kind of what you're supposed to be doing, and then I will work mine all the way down and you'll work yours. It may take a few times to kind of get it folded in the correct position, so it is going to take a bit of practice, but it's very forgiving that you can almost undo your work and kind of try again with the same piece of yarn, so you're not having to make 50 of these just to get it right. So the way that we begin is we're going to thread our other colour. So I'm going to call this our other colour, and then that bit our green main bit. So you're going to thread your needle of both of them. So just like this is one piece of yarn, even though it's one folded in half. And then you're going to take your beads. So as I said, I used about 8, but obviously each one will be slightly different. So you're going to thread your bead to begin with, because that's going to be your starting point. And you're going to thread through the very tip of your work. So it's easier just to kind of show rather than explain. So there you have your main section. And then what you're going to do with your green piece is you're going to fold it over. So you obviously want the Christmas tree look, so you're going to fold it over small at first, and then get slightly bigger and slightly bigger and slightly bigger until you have kind of a woven piece like a snake. So my first piece is going to be very, very small. And I'm only going to do a bead every 2. So this is 1, and then I'm going to sew into this next green bit without a bead, so just sewing directly into it. And then that kind of counts as 2 layers. So we've got our first layer here and our second layer here. So I'm going to add a bead to the next bit. So you're just going to sew through your bead. It will become clearer when you obviously do yours. And then you're going to make it slightly bigger, your piece. You're going to go around your bead. So I'm going to sew into the green bit here. You can see that I've gone slightly wider with my green section than the first one, and going slightly wider each time creates your Christmas tree look, which is why it takes a few times to do. So then I've only done my first layer, so this is my second layer, so it's done without a bead. And then my next bit is going to be a bead because I've done 2 layers. So thread your bead through. And then make it a little bit wider, like so. So I'm going to sew through this bit here. The good thing about these is that everyone will be individual. I love the pieces that are so unique, because obviously it depends on how you do your tree. So that is the beginning of my tree. So I'm going to work this until I have finished my length of yarn. Pause the video here, have a bit of a trial of what works for you, and then I will meet you back when I have finished sewing up mine. Okay then, so I've just finished working mine up, and this is how mine's finished. It's finished with the end like on this side. But then if we look at this one that I made, the end finishes in the middle, and obviously how you sew it up will determine what shape you will make. To finish off, we just need to tie a basic knot in the bottom. So all you're going to do is, I like to do mine quite loose to begin with, and then almost move the knot to hold it towards the bottom, and then give it a bit of a tighten. And there we go. It's okay if there is a little bit of space, because then you can just spread your work out over that space. And then we don't want a really long tail, but I do like to keep a little bit of a tail, almost looks like a bit of a trunk, So I'm just going to cut about there, and there we have our Christmas tree. So there you've made your Christmas tree ornaments. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I absolutely love this pattern and they will be going on my tree this year. So hopefully you can make some of your own before next weekend. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a like if you did. Comment down below any questions that you may have. Subscribe so you never miss another video. There are so many more videos coming in the new year and after Christmas, over the Christmas break. I'm going to get some more filmed and edited for you all, so they're all ready to go. And you can join this wonderful crafting community, which I'm super grateful for. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Happy Christmas, everyone.